So back in 2014, when I decided to leave my ex-wife and remove myself from the home, I made a few mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I made was I decided to leave the home without ever having a conversation with my children, and that left them feeling abandoned and like I didn't love them, and that simply wasn't the case. It was just that whatever me and their mom had going on at the time, uh, I overlooked the importance of actually having a conversation with my kids because they were already teenagers, and even if they wouldn't have understood why I was leaving, I owed them a conversation. And by me not giving them that conversation, they kind of like lost trust and faith in their father. And it's understandable now that I'm looking at the situation from their point of view. It was my job back then to explain to them what was going on and that my love for them would never leave, even if I was leaving the home. And so that's my fault, and I take full responsibility now. Look, whenever a parent leaves the home, it is up to that parent to make sure that the trust is not broken and you keep the faith between you and your children uh, tight. But since I didn't do that, it took me years to realize what I needed to do to mend our broken relationships. The first thing I had to do was I had to swallow my pride and actually go apologize to my kids. I mean, give a sincere, heartfelt apology with no excuses and not try to defend what I did. And when I tell you, when I sat down and told my children, I'm sorry that I did that wrong, the weight that lifted off them each and every time that I did it, because I apologize to my kids individually at our own time. And so that in itself was just amazing because that opened up like some lines of communication and allowed me to begin to understand and help them process what had happened, even though it had happened years prior. So if you made the mistake of leaving your children due to the fact that whatever you and the other parent had going on, and you didn't do it correctly with your children, go back and apologize. It don't make you less of a parent. And I know as parents we tend to think that we don't have to apologize to our kids, but that's just BS. Yes, we are their parents, no doubt, but we humans, and every human make a mistake. And if you make a mistake, apologize for it. And when I tell you that by me apologizing to my kids, it opened up a whole new level of communication, and now they were able to like be open and what can I say? Be honest with me about how they was feeling. I didn't try to restrict how they talked to me. The only thing that I asked is that they didn't curse as much. But when you're angry, a cuss word slip out here and there, and I just took it for what it was in the moment. But after I apologized, and then they were able to have open and honest communication with me, however they felt, uh, that allowed them to see me uh, in a better light, and I got a better understanding of my children of who they were and who they were growing to be. And so now that we have open and honest communication, it was up to me to be consistent. So I try to show up every time I can, how I can, the best I can. And if I'm not able to show up, I communicate that with them in advance so that I can keep that trust in the open communication uh, alive and we can continue to grow and prosper together. So that is uh, like the best thing that I could have done, especially between me and Nana, because we were able to have a great relationship not knowing what was to come. So I'm encouraged, all parents out there, if you're going through a tough time with your children right now, especially if they're grown, fix it. Because there's parents out there that wish they had the opportunity to still be able to talk to their children, hug their children, see their children, and for you to have a child out here that you just not talking to or dealing with, it's kind of like disrespectful to us who no longer have our children. Fix it. You don't want to be in the shoes like some of us, and and your child gets taken away from you, and you have a void that you got to carry around with you for the rest of your life.